Good morning, children. Standard 7th History, Unit 3. Name of the lesson Rise of Marathas and Peshwas. Today, discuss the topic Balaji Bajirao 1740-1761. When Balaji Bajirao was a Peshwa, Emperor Shahu died 1749. A possible succession struggle among the factions of the royal family was averted, thanks to the timely intervention of Balaji Bajirao. He summoned all the contending factions and forced them to accept the condition he laid down. He decided that the capital of kingdom would henceforward be Pune, not Satara. All power and authority was now concentrated in the Peshwa's office. Balaji Bajirao now commanded an army of paid soldiers. Maratha's peasant warrior band was reconfigured and its run came to an end. Maratha soldiers were not permitted now to retire from battlefields each year for the purpose of cultivating their land. Soldiers were required to live in forts and towns far away from their home. They were trained as infantrymen as well as horsemen. The large guns were normally under the command of Maratha officer, but those who fired and maintained them were mostly Portuguese, French and British. During the period of the Peshwa Balaji Bajirao, the northern frontiers of the Maratha state were rapidly touching the Rajasthan, Delhi and the Punjab. At some point, Maratha tributary, the region extended itself to within 50 miles of Delhi. The Marathas launched raids from Nagpur against Bihar, Bengal and Odisha. Notwithstanding the conflict between the Marathas and the Nizam over Karnataka, Tamil, Kannada and Telugu regions were effectively brought under the control of the Marathas. Between 1745 and 1751, plundering expedition was launched yearly by the Maratha chieftain Raghuji Bhonsle. Next, discuss the topic Maratha administration and Peshwas. The revenue administration of the Peshwas was headed by a key official called Vistar. He was appointed by the Peshwa. He was empowered to maintain a small body of soldiers to police the administrative area from where tribute or tax had to be collected. A small staff of clerks and servants were employed to maintain the revenue records. These records was randomly checked by office of the Peshwa. The contracts of revenue collection was acquisitioned annually after the revenue for particular place was estimated by the Peshwa civil servants based on previously year yields. A prospective taxes or revenue collector who owned the contract was expected to have the reputation for wealth and probity. He was required to pay a portion of the whole of anticipated revenue, 1/3 to one of either out of his own wealth or from the money borrowed from bankers. Judging from the ledgers of correspondence and account books, it is evident that the Peshwas were keen on accurate record keeping. The Peshwa regimes looked distinctly modern in comparison with the Mughals, to whose fall they contributed militarily. Next, the fall of Marathas. The imperial movement of the Marathas sadly entered at Panipat near Delhi in 1761. The Marathas attempt to extend their domain beyond Punjab by Punjab was checked by the king of the Afghans, Ahmad Shah Abdali. Abdali invaded 8 times before finally marching into Delhi. The Marathas were now divided among the several commanders, who approached the battle with different tactics. Artillery decided the battle in January 1761. The mobile artillery of Afghans proved lethal against both Maratha cavalry and infantry. The Maratha army was shattered and the surviving men took 6 months to return to Maratha from Panipat to report the tragedy. By then, Maratha supremacy that the subcontinent was effectively over. Let us recall that pointer. It's the name of the lesson. Rise of Marathas and Peshwas. It's a beginning. It's a major. You learn about the factor responsible rise of the Marathas, the Bhakti movement and the Marathas. Another one that is a Shivaji contribution, and another one Shivaji and Aurangzeb, Maratha administration under Shivaji. Next is Sambhuji, Sahu Maharaja, in Peshwa, Bajirao, Balaji Bajirao, and the next fall of the Marathas. Thank you.